I am tired of rooting for and getting excited for games, specifically Xbox exclusive or specifically open world games that are getting closer to coming out, and then all of a sudden they have one or two things going wrong with them. Number one is they're locked at 30 FPS. The other is they absolutely have dog shit for combat. What is the new culprit here? The new culprit is a game called Avowed. This game is created by Obsidian, who also has developed other relatively good games like Pillars of Eternity, The Outer Worlds, and one of the best games of all time, Fallout New Vegas. Their new open world fantasy game, Avowed, has looked pretty good so far until we got this news. So let's take a look at this article and see what the developers themselves said about why they locked this game at 30 FPS. So this is an article that is by The Gamer where they approached the developers and asked them why they're going to be locking this at 30 FPS. Now, what did they say? They said it's because it's a first-person single-player game and that we do not necessarily need 60 frames. And that allows them to get a lot juicier with VFX, lighting, all this other stuff. And it's a trade-off that they made relatively early. And that they're very happy with it, and the game's running pretty smooth for how visually dense it is. And that was always our goal. I am not mad at somebody for making a game look absolutely amazing. But when you make a game look absolutely amazing and then lock it at 30 FPS, I am way less interested in playing your game, especially when you don't come out and say there's also going to be a performance mode for 60 FPS. If you are going to lock a game at 30 FPS, make that in a quality mode. You have to also release a different mode that players can toggle that allows them to play at 60 FPS. We are in 2024. If I want to go back and play a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox 360 game at 30 FPS, I can go do that right now. But you need to give me a reason to play your game, and you need to give me an option for fluid gameplay, or I'm not going to be interested, and a lot of gamers are not going to be interested in playing your game. I understand it's a single-player open-world game, and a lot of people do not think the game needs 60 FPS to be playable. And they're right. It doesn't need 60 FPS to be playable. It needs 60 FPS to be enjoyable by a lot of gamers in this sphere that have become accustomed and used to playing games at 60 FPS. Going back to 30 completely feels like shit. And if you couple this with awful combat, which I'll show here in a second, it completely ruins my excitement for your new game. So now let's take a look at the combat, and I want you guys to tell me what is wrong with this combat.
Up on him and I'm gonna
sneak
get
up
him.
on him. All right. Nice.
Quick and quiet.
Give me a power attack to that spider. Arcane Veil. Corrosive Siphon. Spread the love around.
Oh yeah.
Everybody gets,
Spiders love the
everybody gets
corrosive
some.
siphon.
All right,
Yeah.
another power attack on that spider. We're building up that stun meter over time. That's going to allow us to do a special attack when the stun meter's full. Looks like Kai's done his companion ability, and now he's taunting that spider, drawing aggression away from us, which is very nice. And now we get that special attack.
Hit it with some electricity.
And a little bit of electricity grenades.
Back off and finish it with the wand.
Awesome.
Easy.
Nice job.
Thank you.
If you think that combat looks enjoyable, I think there's something wrong, man. It looks like Skyrim from over a decade ago, but just cartoon graphics. It doesn't look like there's any innovation here, and I could be wrong, but I'm just looking from what they have shown so far. It looks like you are smacking a spider with a wet noodle, and all that you are doing is very tiny, breaking its gigantic health pool a little bit down. There doesn't look like there's any innovation in this combat, and it looks boring. It looks like I'm going to get bored from swinging my sword and shooting my magic after 20 minutes of playing this game. And there could be a lot of other great things about this game. I have seen other examples of this game actually being a good game. The environments do look beautiful. The actual character dialogue seems very good so far, and it seems like it does have an identity and a personality to stand out as a great open world game. But when you have your moment-to-moment gameplay and your combat looking like this and feeling like this, you can't expect someone to get excited. And then to couple that with 30 FPS, I think I know why they had 30 FPS, because they have slow-paced, boring combat that you don't need 60 FPS for. And if you don't need 60 FPS for your combat to feel fluid and to feel good, you probably don't have great combat. You probably don't have the most fun combat ever. And if you look back at The Outer Worlds, one of my biggest gripes about that game, and one of a lot of people's biggest gripes about that game, was the combat feeling lackluster. When your game is 50% the character dialogue and exploration, the other 50% is that combat, even if 20% of it's combat. If that does not feel fun and that does not feel satisfying to play, there's a huge portion of your audience and a huge portion of gamers that are not going to want to play your game. So, short video, just wanted to talk about this. Let me know what you guys think. I was much more excited for Avowed before I saw this, and maybe, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the 30 FPS will feel okay. Maybe they will release different mode where you can toggle between, where you can play the game in 60 FPS. I would very much hope so, because I'm going to take screenshots in 30 FPS, but I want to play the game and feel the game in 60 FPS. It's what I'm used to. It's what I'm accustomed to. It's what I enjoy. It's what a lot of gamers enjoy. And then maybe when you actually play the combat, maybe when they do release some more information, there's a lot more depth and a lot more fun to be had with that combat, but we're going to have to see. Until then, I'm going to be grinding a game with great combat, and that is Black Myth Wukong, so join me on stream tonight. I actually just got a new graphics card, or a new capture card, so hopefully my streams are a lot better quality going forward, so I can't wait to see you guys in that stream, and yeah, see you guys in the next video.